with Liz McColgan, guest of honour at the 4G Awards dinner, and of course about Jog Scotland Awards tonight as well, Liz, and some fantastic support for those in the room on the evening. Tell me a little bit about what you think about running and what it does for people. I think many years ago you said, just get a pair of shoes and get out the door. That's what running does for you.
It is. Like, I mean, I started running like that, you know. I was from like a sort of not a very great background, you know, mum and dad not working, no food on the table, no electricity, all that sort of stuff. So I didn't have the funds to go and do a lot of other sports. And for me, athletics was just go out the door and run in the countryside. And that's how I got into it, because it made me sort of escape all the problems that I had as a child by just getting up in the fields and running. And then that running in the fields then became so much more. And I think that even just for mental well-being and that feel-good factor, after you've exercised, it's just so much more that you gain from it. It's hard at the time, sometimes it's hard to be motivated, you know, it's winter nights and you don't want to get out, but I think programs like Jog Scotland are really, really good because you get a lot of like-minded people, not necessarily the fittest people or the fastest people, but like-minded people, and it then becomes like a social thing that you can just go and do, but at the same time, you don't have to do it in a group, you can just go and do it, put your shoes on, as I say, go and run out the door. So we're very, very fortunate. We've got some great parks and things and great areas to run in Scotland. But the programmes really support the community, and I think the community is one of the biggest areas that we do need to support, because there are a lot of issues in the community, especially in young children and adults alike. So Jog Scotland runs great programmes for all of that.
Well, what I think you would be really interested in, there's a very high percentage of women and females that run for Jog Scotland. I think it's 75%, 25% is the ratio. You've probably played a part of that in terms of being a pioneer, because when you were out running in Dundee in the early 80s, I don't think there'll be too many people out running on the street, and certainly not many women. So there's been something that has happened over the decades since then.
Yeah, it's been acceptable. When I started running, no women were running. You know, I used to get stopped in the street, like, what are you doing? And followed by, you know, gangs and things, like, because I was doing something so unreal and so unnormal. So everybody thought I was a weirdo. But, you know, running now is so acceptable, and the benefits that women get, especially from, you know, depression and anxiety and all of that sort of stuff, running can release all that. And I think there's a lot of great educational programs out there that actually do, like, let you be educated on exactly why you feel good and why it's important, weight loss, body image, all of that stuff. And it's really, really important for just your general well-being. It's not about, as I said earlier, it's not about winning races, it's about you challenging yourself and getting that sort of feel-good factor of what your accomplishment is.
Thanks, Liz.
Okay, thank you.